afternoon to all. In this afternoon video, we are going to see about the topic energy losses in a transformer in lesson 4 electromagnetic induction. So in this topic we are going to see about the some of the factors which involved in producing the energy loss in a transformer. We are already discussed in the last class what is transformer, principle, construction, working, and also how it give the current value also. So for this transformer also it leads to losses. So that losses are considered as iron loss or core loss, copper loss, flux leakage loss, and also sound loss. So and also some of the extra losses, that is heat eating effect. So that is also considered as a huge loss. So we have to see one by one here. The first we are going to see about the core loss or iron loss. See, in this core loss means it is generally we say that hysteresis loss or eddy loss. So what is meant by the hysteresis? It can be produced in the magnetism. So that is here the magnetized and demagnetized that can be produced in the primary coil. So because of applying the voltages, so magnetized and demagnetized can be produced in the coil. So because of this magnetized and demagnetized, some energy can be lost in the form of a heat. So that loss is called the hysteresis loss. So that can be minimized by using the very high material, that is the silicon content material. So for using the transformer core, we have to minimize this hysteresis loss. And also it is considered as a eddy loss. Eddy loss means the eddy current can be produced. So in the sheet like structure of a conductor, no. So at the concentric rings, the direction. So here the eddy current, the direction of the eddy current is a concentric ring like structures, and it can be ending at the center of the sheet. Because of this only we have to cut that sheet, because the hole is maintained at the transformer core. And also this energy, this is also one of the type of, that is energy loss because of this eddy current, that can be minimized by using a very thin lamination of transformer core. So this loss is considered as a core loss. And also the second one is copper loss. So in this copper loss, so we have to say this is in also that is coil is, that coil we have to use, no, the primary and secondary coil. So that material is made up of a copper. So here in the transformer winding, so that is called the coppers. That type of wires we are using as a copper. So when the electric current can be flows through them, that is in a primary and the secondary coil, some amount of energy is produced. So that energy is a heating energy. So here the primary and secondary coil producing the energy, that energy is a heating energy, that can be, we say, as a Joule's law of heating energy also. So this energy loss is called the copper loss. So which can be minimized by this copper loss by using the thick wires, that is copper wires. We are using the larger diameter of thick wires of copper wires. We have to minimize this Joule's heating. Then the last one is flux leakage. Flux means generally here producing the magnetic flux. So here the magnetic flux is produced because of the primary coil. So when the primary coil is producing magnetic flux, that all amount of magnetic flux is not linked with, that is the same amount is not linked with the secondary coil. It can be losses, some losses can be happen, that is in a small amount, that can be minimized by winding the coil over one another. So we are not giving the gap to that winding coils, we have to winding the coil with a one another with a very tightly, we have to arrange that. So that can be minimized the flux leakage here. So these are all the energy losses in the transformer, and also producing the sound losses. So here sound losses, the transformer is a long transmission, that is it can be a long distance, it can be carry over the voltages. So that's why in meanwhile time in between that, so it can be maybe the sound is also produced. So because of this sound produced, that time also the energy can be losses because of sound producing. So these are all the types of energy losses in the transformer. Then the next topic is advantages of AC in long distance power transmission. So when the AC current can be produced in the power station, it can be able to traveling in a long distance method. So first it can be converted in the step up transformer. What is the usage of step up transformer? So it can be increasing the voltage because of decreasing the current value, and also it come and reach in the city side of step down transformer. In the step down transformer, what happened when the here the high voltage low current, it can be converted into high current and low voltage. So this is the usage of step down transformer, and it can be passes through in the city substations, and it can able to come to our home, each and every home for a 240 voltage. So this is the transmission method of AC. So what is the advantage here means, because it is very difficult to traveling the power transmission. So that's why here the some of the losses, that is mainly Joule's heating losses, can be produced. So for minimizing this loss, we have to reduce the that is current value and increasing the voltage value. So because of reducing current, the resistance R is also reduced. So it can be because of this reduction, we have to use thick wires of copper. I already told you, larger diameter of the copper can be used for reducing this losses. So this is increase the cost of protection of transmission lines and also for expensives. So this is the way of reducing power loss. So and also another advantage is, what does that means, when the transmission is happening, so when the receiving point, the voltage is decreased and the current is increased. So by using the step down transformer, so the power transmission is done efficiently and economically here. So because of this, the advantages of AC in long distance power transmission. So this diagram shows the power transmission line. So here when the power station produces the power, and it can be passes through the step up transformer. So what is the usage of step up transformer? Because of reducing the current value and increasing the voltage value. So we are giving the increasing voltage value, it can be passes through in a reducing current, and it can be able to travel in a long distance, and it come and reach in the step down transformer. What is the purpose of step down transformer here? So step down transformer, when the current value is increased, it can be reduced the voltage value, and it can pass through the city substation. So this is the diagram of the long distance power transmission. And the next topic is alternating current. So this is one of the important topic. So this alternating current, we are already discussed in the orientation of the coil. So orientation of the coil, we found that the value of, that is epsilon is equal to epsilon m sin omega t. So that is the voltage that can be produced by alternating, that is one complete rotation of the coil. The alternating voltage can be, that is induced voltage, that is EMF, can be produced, that we are already discussed in the previous chapter. So here also the same amount of alternating current is also produced, inducing current, that can be referred as I is equal to Im sin omega t. So that is called the alternating current. So alternating current, so here producing the alternate, that is positive and negative change in the polarity for a complete rotation. So one of the polarity is positive, highest amplitude value, and another one is the negative value. So because of this, producing the alternating voltage and also the alternating current. So that is referred as a alternating current here. So the alternating voltage is the voltage which changes the polarity. Polarity means positive and negative polarity at regular intervals of time, and also the direction of the resulting alternating current also changes accordingly. So this is the definition that is given in your book, that is called the alternating current here. So because of producing the change in polarity of the alternating current, the sinusoidal wave can be produced. That can be drawn in the graphical representation. So we have to draw a diagram. So diagram between the voltage, that is voltage between voltage and the full complete rotation, that is omega t theta. So what will happen? The one of the wave formation, the continuous wave formation is produced. That wave formation is considered as a sinusoidal alternating waves. So it is a waveform of alternating voltage is a sine wave, that you know that sine wave can be produced. So epsilon is equal to epsilon m sine omega t only. We found that value. So then it is known as the sinusoidal alternating voltage, or it can be referred as a sine wave. So this is the sinusoidal alternating voltage. That voltage means because of the sinusoidal positive and negative polarity, the wave formation can be produced because of the alternating voltage. So that is considered as a sinusoidal wave or sinusoidal alternating voltage, or it may be considered as a same amount of current can be produced, sinusoidal alternating current also. Let's see the diagram. So let us consider this diagram. An alternating voltage source is connected to the resistance. So here the upper terminal is considered as a positive and the lower terminal is considered as a negative. So it will shows the current can be passed through in the clockwise direction. And also we have to reverse, that is in the picture B, reverse the polarity of the voltage. So upper may be connected to the negative direction and lower voltage can be connected to the positive. So what happened? The reverse current is produced, that is in a anti-clockwise direction. So this is the circuit diagram of producing the current. Because of voltage, it can be able to produce the current value. Then we have to see the wave formation. So this is the sinusoidal wave formation of alternating voltage and also alternating current. Sinusoidal wave means sine waves. So first graph represents the that is the value between the voltage and the theta value, that is theta is equal to omega t. So here Vm is the maximum voltage, and also for negative polarity maximum minus Vm maximum voltage. So here the positive and negative, the wave can be produced for a 360 degree, and also the same amount of current value is also produced in the second graph B. So that is the Im is considered as the maximum, that is maximum amplitude of the sine wave. So maximum current. So and also the same amount of negative current is also produced. So it can also able to produce a wave formation. So this is the alternating, the polarity changes positive negative is called the alternating current.